Hello everyone, it's me, Vicki. Welcome. We're here for yoga today, level 1 and 2. I'll do a little mixture of both today for you. Hope you enjoy it. So as you're watching, I am filming this as I have done with several other videos recently, in the middle of the pandemic of 2020. And if there's anything that we are learning from this pandemic, it's that our health is of the utmost importance. And our breath in our body is of the utmost importance. Our prana energy, this is our lifeline. Without this breath, we would not be able to sustain our lives. And so today we're going to work on that breath as we move. So what I'd like to do, it doesn't matter if you're standing or seated. Let's just bring our hands to heart center. Allow the elbows to bend and the hands to press together. Thumbs towards the heart, maybe even touching the heart center, if you feel comfortable doing so, as if your arms are a little cradle, a little carriage for your lungs and your heart as we breathe. So pressing hands together, let's take a few breaths here, welcoming your inhale, welcoming your exhale, exhaling fully if you can. Trying that again, welcoming the inhale, feeling the chest rise with that breath coming in, exhaling it out. Same thing again at your own pace, inhaling, welcoming that oxygen. Exhaling, releasing it fully. As you continue at your own pace, breathing in only through your nose, exhaling out only through your nose. So we'll keep the breath nice and warm, right? Just keeping that warmth inside the body to prepare us for our physical practice. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Now I'll change it just a little bit. On your next inhale, release the hands, and as if you're pressing the palms away, making a clearing of sorts for yourself. And then hands back to heart on your exhale. Inhaling, letting go, making a clearing for yourself. Exhale, letting go. Same thing, inhale, clear that space for yourself. Exhale, bring it back to the heart. One more. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. Bow your head in gratitude for this breath, these lungs, this prana, this life force within us that keeps us alive. Right? Now, any way that you can, we're going to bring ourselves to standing mountain posture. Please maneuver up if you were seated any way that you're able, and we'll come to the front of our mat in standing mountain pose. Nice and tall. Shoulders back and down, ears drawn back towards the shoulders, chin drawn in, legs are long. On your next inhale, lift the arms to the sky. Can we grab the left wrist with the right hand, turn the left palm up for a side stretch to the right. Let that palm of that left hand receive something here today that you need. And then reverse, switch to the opposite wrist. Let the right palm of the hand be raised up, receiving something today. Coming back to center, draw the hands together. Little lift of the heart. Stretch, breathe. And exhale, swan dive down to your first forward fold. Give yourself a moment to stretch, to breathe. Knees can be very soft here. It takes a while in this first fold until we settle in and we check in with the backs of the legs. Check in with the lower back. When you feel ready, gently come to flat back, hands to the shins, shoulders back, and exhale back down into that fold. Good. Using the strength of your core, inhale, lift yourself back up again, reverse that swan dive. Let's grab onto that left wrist again, turn that palm of that hand up, and take a side stretch over to the right. Let the hand receive. Switching that out, holding your right wrist, stretch to the left. Let your right palm receive something you need here today. Back to center, palms of hands together. Stretch, little back bend, lift the heart. Exhale fully as you swan dive down. Forward folding. Good. When you feel ready, inhale, half lift. Exhale, release back to your fold. Relax here, let something go. Know that that prana energy is deep inside of you, fueling you now. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, come all the way up. When you come to standing, grab that left wrist one more time, turn the palm of the hand up, stretch over to the right. Come back to center, grab the opposite wrist, and stretch over to the left. Keep the feet rooted. Come back to center, hands together. Lift that heart up, little back bend, joyful day. Exhale, swan dive down. Good. Let's lift halfway up, flat back. And exhale, release yourself down. Stay here for a moment. Feel free to shake your head a little bit. Maybe you're nodding. Yes. Yes, I am strong. Yes, I am vibrant. Very slowly now, let's take this left leg back for a kneeling lunge. Just sliding that leg back, that right knee is bent. Hands can stay down to frame the front foot, or some of you may be lifting the arms in the air, lifting the heart, sinking into this stretch. Letting that left hip relax a bit. Now, as a little option here for some, bringing the arms behind you to clasp the hands, drawing the knuckles of the hands downward. Lifting the heart up a little bit more. Exhale fully as the hands touch earth, framing that front foot again. Let's pick up the right hand now and slide it to the right hip, rolling the shoulder back. For a nice twist, shift your gaze right. Exhale, we'll bring that hand back down next to the foot. Tucking the left toes, can we find a full runner's lunge here? We'll only be here for just a moment. And stepping back to your first downward facing dog. Take some time, move around, pedal the legs out, check in. Check in with your whole body now. How do the shoulders feel today? How do the legs feel? Is your body holding any tightness? Breathe through it. Cultivate your prana. Let it move around as you inhale and exhale, sending the breath to where you need it for today. So option one is simply to stay here in this downward dog a little bit longer. Option two is to come to a wide down dog, sliding pinky toes to the edges of the mat for a little different stretch. You may feel that this is a little easier on your hamstrings if you have tight hamstrings. So again, a final option for one or two of you watching this video. Let's pick up the right hand and slide it around the left calf, taking a little twist as we shift our gaze under our left armpit and drop our right shoulder. Little twist. Good, let's bring that right hand back and we'll try the same thing with the left hand. Wrap it around that right shin or calf. Drop that left shoulder and shift your gaze under your right armpit. Coming back to center, very nice. Let's bring that left foot back to center and lift the right leg to three-legged dog. Nice big stretch, toes toward the sky. Nice big split of the legs, good. Let's bend the knee. Little work now, look forward as you draw your core center up higher and bring the foot between the hands back to your runner's lunge. It's okay to push it forward if you need to, right? Let's float back to forward fold here. Relax, relax, relax. Working to shift your sitting bones over your heels. Find that relationship starting to happen now. On your next inhale, reverse the swan dive. Come all the way back up, hands together at the top. A little back bend, or maybe it's a bigger back bend, right? Feel those lower ribs starting to lift away from the hip girdle. And on your next breath, let go. Exhale, swan dive back down again. Let's lift halfway up to a flat back. And inhale, exhale, back to that forward fold to let go. Very nice. Can we take our right leg back now for that kneeling lunge this time? Just slide that on back. Take your time. You can keep your hands here to frame your left foot, or for some to lift them in the air, palms facing, sinking that right hip down a little bit more. Breathing. Noticing your inhales, your exhales, welcoming that energy, welcoming that lifeline. This is our life. We are alive, we are vibrant, we're breathing. Option, hands behind, knuckles drawing down. Now let's bring the hands back to frame that foot, and we'll lift the left hand to the hip, rolling the shoulder back. Little twist. Breathe. Notice how you're drawing your energy down with that right hand, yet up. Little play on opposites, right? Exhale down with that left hand. Let's tuck the right toes, find your runner's lunge for just a moment, and stepping back to downward facing dog. Shift your weight back, stretch out. You may need to pedal the legs a little bit. Now, just like we did before, option to stay here or to come wider with me, pinky toes to the edges of the mat. That may feel nice for some. Let's breathe here, wherever you are. And again, that final option of that little down dog twist, right hand wraps around calf. Shift your gaze left. Good, release that left hand wraps around right calf or shin there. Shift your gaze right. And come back to center. Good. Let's bring the right foot in the middle of the mat there. Lift the left leg to three-legged dog. Enjoy this stretch, but notice the position of your hips here. Your hips are square. We've not rotated the hip anywhere here. The hips are very square forward. Bend the knee. Cultivate your core energy. Lift yourself up with your core. Look forward to your hands. Then bring that left foot between the hands or push it forward. You're back in your runner's lunge. Good. Let's float back to forward fold. Let go here. Again, working sitting bones over heels. Breathe. Inhale. Reverse your swan dive up. Little back bend. Hands touch, heart lifts. Let's bring the hands back down to heart center here. Find that little carriage that we made before for our lungs and our heart to rest. Just for a moment, right? Check in with your breath. Notice how full that inhale is. Notice how warm the body is. And notice how full your exhale is. Yoga makes it easier for us to exhale, to let go all that carbon dioxide. Let's move along in our practice if you're ready. Inhaling up again. Exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Lift halfway up to a flat back. Exhale, release back down. This time, stepping your left foot back for warrior one. The left foot flattens. The right leg will be bent as we rise. So it is a lunge here. Hands up in the air if you wish. Palms to face. Strong grounding through the feet. Gaze is forward. Breathe. Welcome your breath in warrior one today. Little option for one or two of you to bend both elbows, bring the palms of your hands to touch the back of your heart. Squeeze the elbows close to the head and lift your chin to gaze up. Touching the backs of the lungs, the backs of the heart. Remembering these organs fill your whole chest cavity there. Releasing the arms now. Let's open to warrior two. Take your time for any repositioning of the feet that you need to do here. Keeping those front toes facing forward. Rolling that right hip outward slightly. Pause, breathe. Inhale. Can we reverse this warrior? Lifting that front arm and reaching back. Notice that stretch through the lung here, that right lung. It's a nice stretch, nice amount of room in there. Let's straighten that front leg out and find reverse triangle to keep this shape a little bit more with a straight leg. Now exhaling into full triangle, palms of the hands face forward, sliding the torso forward, and then dropping the one arm, lifting the other arm and breathing. You can look up if you feel comfortable doing so. Notice your breath. Can you hear it? Can you even perhaps see it in your mind, that prana? On your next inhale, lift yourself up. Let's come back the way we started. Reverse triangle. Good, right into reverse warrior. Right into warrior two. Turn the back palm up and spiral all the way around. Runner's lunge, good. Can we twist it out to the right here? Just a little counter twist there. Exhale down. Now let's step back to plank pose. You can drop your knees here if you'd like. Keep your core nice and tight. Breathe. Option for one of you watching, maybe two of you watching. Can we spin open to the right to a side plank? So basically your feet railroad, we spin And we lift our right arm up. Right? Just a little fun option for some. Let's exhale back down to our plank pose. Very nice job. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Take a couple of breaths. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Notice the heels are coming a little closer to the ground, right? Good. On your next breath, lifting your right leg, three-legged dog, bend the knee, cultivate your core strength, bring the foot between the hands, and step together, finding chair pose this time. So the knees bend, right? The back is long, the arms come around front, as if you're waiting for a chair to come along that you could sit in, but not yet, right? Good. Inhale, power yourself up. Touch the hands together at the top, little back bend. Stay with it now if you can. Exhale, swan dive to fold. Good. Let's lift halfway to flat back. And exhale back down to fold. Good. Nice. This time our right foot steps back, warrior one. Take a moment to let that foot flatten. Find your grounding. Nice and strong. Front knee bends. Breathe. Cultivating our breath. Warrior one. Our prana energy holds this pose, right? Our breathing. Stay here. Option for some to bend the elbows. Bring the palms of the hands to touch the back of the heart, back of the lungs. Chin lifts. Breathe. Nice stretch through the shoulders as well. Let's release that and open to warrior two. Take your time. Same thing, opposite side. Breathing. Breathe into your legs. Breathe into your shoulders. Let's drop that back arm. Reverse the warrior. There's that left lung now that gets a little bit of openness, a little more space. Straightening out that front leg, reverse triangle. Let's move this to full triangle, palms of the hands face in your forward direction. Slide, slide forward, and then the arms come to that 6 o'clock shape that we find in triangle. Gaze shifts up and we breathe. Right. Trust your body, trust your breath. On your next breath, inhale, lift up. Let's come back the way we came, reverse triangle, into your reverse warrior, into your warrior two. Turn the back palm to face up and spiral all the way around to your runner's lunge. Good. Can we twist it out to the left? Excellent. Exhale that arm down. Now let's try stepping back to plank again. Know that you can drop your knees. That's okay. Just keep that core strength nice and strong, right? Breathing. Option one, stay here. Option two, spiral open to your left with a side plank. So just railroading your legs. And lifting that left arm up. Excellent. Exhale down. Plank pose. And back to your downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Very nice. Take a few breaths. Always pushing the weight of the body back into the legs and hips here in this pose. Then lifting the hips high to the sky as the heels draw down towards the earth. Your neck should feel very long in this pose. Shoulders roll away. On your next breath, lifting that left leg to three-legged dog. Let's bend the knee, cultivate your core strength. Foot between the hands for your runner's lunge. And we'll float back into our foot together position, but into chair pose. Heart lifted. Long back. Strong legs. Breathe. Inhale. Come all the way up. Hands together at the top. Little back bend. And this time we'll exhale, swan dive down for the last time and just hang there. Just let yourself hang there for a moment. Hang heavy. Let it go. Right? Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good. Now, any way that you can, let's step back to downward facing dog. Nice job. Good. Breathe here. On your next breath, walk your hands to your feet so that basically your forward fold is at the back of your mat. Then inhale, reverse swan dive, bring yourself back up again. You can lift the heart here again if you like, as I like to do. And the hands come back to heart center. There's that little carriage again for your lungs, for your heart. Now I'm going to go ahead and face you here as we do a little balance. So I'll face you and let's shift our weight to our left foot. Today we'll find tree pose. So let's unweight the right foot and see if we can find a place to put that right foot, either low, heel on the opposite top of that left foot, or perhaps to slide it to the shin. I'm going to open the arms here to receive again with the palms facing up. Receive your breath. Maybe that's what we needed today, right? We just needed to be reminded of our lifeline, our prana. Take a few more breaths. It's okay if you tap down, you can try again. Good, and then the hands come back to heart center. Find that little carriage again. And let's bring that leg down. Shake it out a bit if you need to. Nice job. Balance is all part of our practice, right? No worries if we tap down or we are wiggling or anything like that. We're all doing it. We're all together. Okay, so now we'll shift the weight to our right foot and unweight the left. You can stay nice and low by just bringing that heel on top of that right foot slightly, or to higher up if you want to. I know some of you go up to the inner thigh, that's fine as well. And here's these arms again for receiving. Receiving what we need today, whatever that is. Just let it come in. Right? This is what we love about our practice. It lets something in that we needed. Always. Trust your practice. As much as you trust your breath, trust your practice. Couple more breaths. Beautiful job. Now, let's bring the hands back to heart. Make that carriage again. And then bring that leg down. Beautiful. As you move around a little bit, we're going to end up back at the back of the mat. If you move to center for that tree balance, back of the mat. Inhale the arms up. Good, let's take one more little back bend. Now for the last time today, we're going to swan dive down. Exhale completely, really empty out. Let it go, let it go. Shake the head again if you want to. It's good for the head Good for the brain, good for the hair follicles, the eyes, the nose, the sinuses, right? Good. Now slowly let's walk out, walk out, walk out, downward facing dog. Good. On your next breath, just go ahead and come up onto the balls of your feet and drop your knees down. So knees are under the hips. We're going to find a puppy pose as our hands walk out. Drawing the heart center towards the earth. So it's like a mini downward dog. This is nice for the shoulders. We're going to do a little shoulder work right now. Breathing. On your next breath, let's drop those elbows and forearms down. Now we'll slide that heart and lung carriage forward as we extend the legs long for Sphinx pose. If it's too high for you, just come a little bit lower in this. It's okay. Adjust as needed. Breathing. On your next exhale, bring your heart towards earth and let's bend the knees in the back there. Now we'll reach the hands back. You may or may not be able to reach your feet. If you can reach your feet, grab onto your feet. If you cannot reach your feet, then just put your hands back there as if you are holding your feet. It can do the same thing that I'm cueing, even if you're not holding your feet. So our bow pose is the next pose today. The idea here is to massage your lower belly, pushing it down into the earth by lifting everything else up, or anything that can lift. So let's see what lifts up here. Let the lower belly get a nice massage, squeeze the legs together, and breathe. Just breathe. Find that prana energy. Where is it? Is it in the belly? Are you feeling this in your lower belly? Exhale down. Let's bring the hands in front for a little reclined crocodile. Let your forehead drop onto those piled up hands. Relax your legs. Good. Now, stay here is option one. Just relax. And that's a good option. Or option two, we'll try one more bow pose by bending our knees again, bringing our hands around to grab onto the feet, really holding more up towards my ankle there. And then inhale and lift. And just accept whatever's happening. If you're doing this pose, the idea too, squeezing legs towards each other is going to protect your lower back a little bit more. 2 more breaths. Exhale down, back to your reclined crocodile. Let go. That's also a really nice stretch in the shoulder if you did the bow pose. Good. Breathe. Now let's bring those legs a little closer together and we'll extend our arms out long in front of us. So the gaze is down, but the head is off the ground. So the neck's got to do a little work here. It's a little variation on locust pose. It's excellent for posture, excellent to support the neck muscles that support the head, and for the rear shoulders. So let's lift the arms off the ground if you're able. Just a little bit. And then coming back to goddess arms here. Bringing these back to like a goddess style arm with the elbow bent. Right? You might find yourself coming up a little higher there. Then let's bring the whole thing back. Hover the arms and release them down. Good. Now let's try 2 more. So lifting the arms up, find the goddess. You might be able to come up a little bit higher there. And then bring them back. And exhale down. Last one. Inhale, lift the arms. Bring them to the goddess. Maybe the heart's lifting off the ground. Little half locust pose. Bringing them back. And exhale down. Good. Now hang on. Let's slide those hands back next to the chest. And we'll come to a Cobra Pose. Tuck the elbows in towards the body. Hips stay down. We're in our Cobra Pose. 5 breaths. Hang on. This is really the pinnacle of this practice today now. Hang on. 2 more. 1 more. Take a nice big inhale. Press yourself away from the earth and back to your child pose. All the way back. Relax, 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 relax. Relax your back. Relax your back. Relax your neck. Breathing. Know that as hard work as this might be today, you're doing something very, very good for your body and something very, very good for your lungs. Good. Now, some of you might stay here. If you feel that you're just a little bit tired, maybe that was enough for today, then just stay here. I'm going to add one more little pose sequence for those that want just a little bit more. If you feel that you want a little more, walk your hands back towards your knees. Find hero's pose with hands to the heart, tailbone between the heels, and then slowly make your way up to a kneel. Sliding your flat hands behind your back on either side of the spine, right where the hips of the top of the hip girdle is there. And then as you press down and in with your hands, really pressing down and in, find your camel pose. Let your low belly come long. Let your hips stay forward over your knees. Dropping your shoulders back, lifting your chin. Really watching in your own mind your hands as they're pressing in and down to support that lower back. Breathing. The inhale's very big here. Really stretching those lungs open, very important. Excellent pose for the lungs, our camel. 1 more. Good, now very slowly maneuver yourself back and then slowly back to your hero's pose. Good, so whatever you did there, if you're still in child, that's okay. Whatever you did there, let's meet in our tabletop. Tabletop posture, hands and knees. We'll pick up the left knee. Now I'm going to cue a pigeon shape here. There's a lot of different variations of this, but this left knee is going to come up towards that left wrist, and then it's just going to kind of sit there by the thumb. Let's put your right toes towards the right side of the mat without forcing. Some of you are going to be able to slide your right leg back long. That may or may not work for you. So you may be very high off the ground, or you may be a little bit lower to the ground. Now, let's draw the shoulders back, lift the heart as if you're dragging yourself forward by your chest. Finally, if you'd like to bring your heart towards earth, just pile your 2 fists up, one on top of the other. Let your forehead rest there. Take a few breaths. While you're taking these few breaths, notice them. Notice these breaths. They're clean. They're full. They might be a little slower. They're clearing. Something is clearing. Something is letting go in this clearing. Clearing Finding some space for us to receive something that we need today. Let's take another breath here. Now when you feel ready, slowly lift your head. Place your hands back on the ground to support, heart lifted. As a final option in the pose, one or two of you may bend your right knee to stretch through your quad muscle there, toes to the sky. Good, let's lower that shin back down. Now a little work here to get back to tabletop. We have to maneuver the left leg back and slide the right leg up. Knees under hips. Good, when you get here, let's just sway the hips side to side a little bit. Let that pigeon go. Just move a little bit side to side, and we'll do it on the other side. So when you come to stillness here, and when you're ready, go ahead and pick up your right knee and slide it up to your right wrist. Maybe the left toe or the right toes are going towards the left side of the mat. A little bit more. And then we'll slide that left leg back just as far as you can. Let your hands support as you lift your heart. Breathing. Dragging yourself forward in your mind by your chest. And then exhale. If you'd like to relax down, just pile one of your fists over the other fist. Relax, relax. And breathe. It doesn't matter how high or low you are in this pose. Notice what's happening here with your right hip. Pigeon will dig a little deeper into some stretches that through the muscles and ligaments that support the hip. So it's a very powerful stretch, very powerful pose to let go in as well. Let's take a few more breaths. So as you starting to come out of this pose, we'll lift our forehead up and we'll come back to our hands. Now as an option here, as you lift your heart again, let's bend the left knee if you'd like to try that, just to stretch through your quad muscles there, toes to the sky. And then we'll slowly put that shin back down. All we'll do here is drop our right hip to the ground. So we're going to basically come around to a little seat on that right hip, bring the legs together. Sitting with knees bent, feet flat, hands under the thighs. Let's lift the heart up. For the last time today, we'll cultivate a little bit of core as we come to boat pose. Your legs might lift, they might not. Keep the heart lifted, perhaps letting go. 4 breaths. If it's too much, take your hands and put them back under your thighs. 1 more. Very nice. As you exhale, let that go. Let's stretch out one leg, bend the other leg, and roll onto your back. Knees into the chest. So we're going to come to a little twist now as we wind our practice down. Our arms come to a T to the sides. Carefully drop your legs over to the left. We can keep the knees basically stacked up here, but let's work to shift the chest more center, facing the sky there. There's an option to take your right leg and slide it back towards your opposite wall if that feels good on your right hip. So we've separated the legs a little wider as an option. Take a few more breaths. Now, if you've separated the legs in your twist, let's bring them back together. Draw your belly in and bring the legs back to center. Make sure your spine is very neutral here. On your next exhale, dropping the legs to the right. Same thing, opposite side. Chest is facing the sky. Notice how this feels for your body. One or two of you watching might slide your left leg back away from your right leg for a little different stretch on that left hip. You're going to get a little more inward, internal rotation there on that left hip if that's what's needed there today. Take a few more breaths. Relax, relax. Good. Just one more breath. Sliding the legs back together, knees stacked, drawing the belly in, and bringing yourself back to center. Good. Let's complete this practice before Shavasana by taking our peace fingers and reaching our big toes for happy baby pose. If that doesn't work, just hold on to your shins. Let your hips, let your lower back have a little space of their own now as the legs separate. Today, I would like to offer as an option for those in the happy baby, just for today, if you would like to come to a straighter leg with a straddle shape in your happy baby, that might feel good based on the movements that we did in today's practice. So if that feels better for you, if that stretch a little bit more through the inner thigh feels better, you can stay here. And others with the bent knee in traditional happy baby. Let's all take 3 more breaths wherever we are. Exhale out fully as you start to bring your legs back in towards each other, giving yourself a little hug, thanking your body for its fortitude today, doing this work, this yoga. And as you exhale and release to Shavasana, extending your legs long to heels to the opposing corners of your mat, turning your palms up once again to receive something today that is coming to you. Dimming or closing the eyes, relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. We'll let ourselves stay here for 4 minutes. The breath becoming just a little softer, a little slower. Still the beauty of that inhale and that beauty of the exhale. Our lifeline. And now we rest. slowly bring yourself back to your body. If you feel that you need more time in Shavasana, you're welcome to stay here as long as you like. If you feel ready to move again, just start to bend your knees and gently roll to the side of your mat. Take a moment at the side of your mat to thank yourself for your practice today, for taking this time for yourself. And then when you're ready, we'll gently press ourselves back up to a seat to complete the practice today. Sit any way that you're comfortable for just a moment. Let's bring the hands back to the heart. Make that little carriage again that houses your lungs, your heart, that holds your prana energy deep inside, your lifeline. Have gratitude for yourself and your practice today. You are keeping yourself healthy. That's very important. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste to you.